Haven't seen you guys since last year. Just kidding. But no, really, I mean, it's been since last year, guys. Oh my god. Yeah, anyways, guys, so I wanted to bring this video out today. This is going to be kind of supporting some of the stuff that I've said on my X. If you aren't following me on X, please do so. I've been really been going ham on there with the lefties, making fun of the lefties and stuff like that. So if you want to be a part of that, please come and join our X. And also, I would like to say, if you're new to the channel or you're checking it out for the first time, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and like the video, and maybe even share it if you know anyone struggling with the food prices right now, because the Liberals are dodging out the responsibility they have on they're dodging their accountability, the responsibility on being truthful to Canadians about how the taxes are affecting us. And here is some amount of sourcing of that, and I'm going to source it twice here, and then actually I'm going to also go to another thing as well there. But so yeah, here I want to show you, this is Yankee Flats meats, as you can see, and what's behind the rising price of beef in BC. And it's not solely about BC, but yes, it is. Like, it's one of the worst places in Canada right now for rising beef costs. So what's driving that price increase? The rising price of beef in British Columbia and across Canada can be traced to a few major industry-wide shifts. Cattle in herds are at historic lows. Canada's cattle population is at the lowest it's been since 1987. Prolonged drought in the prairies have made cattle farming more difficult and expensive, forcing many ranchers to downsize or exit the industry altogether. And people have been telling me that it's wrong, that they've been leaving the industry and downsizing it. People are saying they're not giving away or reducing their cattle. They're not exiting the industry and farming. So that's just one thing I'm going to point out right there. That's a very big lefty lie, that it's not causing these types of things, these damages to the industry. It totally is, okay? Okay, so supply and demand is out of balance. So obviously, when you have a big supply for something and your demand isn't being met by the supply, not you have a big supply, you have big demand, sorry. If you have a really big demand and your supply isn't meeting the demand, the cost of the thing in demand will be going up. Okay, so let's get into the point. With fewer cattle available and stronger consumer demand, the price of beef naturally rises. This isn't just theory, it's simple economics. People are still buying beef in some cases. With rising costs, interest in high protein diets and the carnivore diets, demand is increasing, not decreasing, even though supply is decreasing. Okay. Live market price sets the tone. At YFM, we purchase cattle based on live weight prices. Rate set by market auctions in Alberta, which is the largest beef producing province in Canada. What do you know? Another thing we owe Alberta for, but do we give it its justice or its due amount in terms of credit for all it does for Canada? Hell fucking no. These prices fluctuate weekly and are driven by supply and demand, weather, export markets, and broader economic trends. This means we don't arbitrarily raise prices, so we don't just sit around like, oh, time to jack up the prices. But, so what it means is we adjust in line with the live market while continuing to pay farmers fairly and ethically, which is very good. I'm glad that we pay farmers fairly and ethically. We should. raising cattle is more expensive than ever. So here's exactly what I'm getting into. Number 4, input costs are rising. Raising cattle is more expensive than ever. Feed, fuel, land, vet care, labor costs have all gone up, especially due to drought, inflation, and supply chains. For small farms, these rising expenses make it harder to stay sustainable without adjusting prices. When you buy local, you're helping farmers cover the essential costs while still delivering top good ethically raised beef. Top quality ethically raised beef. Okay. So, what I'm going to break down here is they say that the carbon tax does not come through on our food. Food is not taxed, right? Right here is where food is taxed. Because you tax the feed, you tax the fuel, you tax the land, and it's all taxed. And that all those things go into your cattle. Your feed goes into your cattle, transporting the cattle that becomes butchered for our food gets moved around with fuel, as does maintaining the farm. All that's taxed fuel, and the land is taxed. Okay, so just that right there, that is like validation of the claim that the at least beef, the animals are indeed taxed through this right here. The cost will come through to the consumer, or the farms will downsize and shut down. And then, of course, there's this, which is the Fraser Institute, and they came out with this just about 2 years ago now, a year and a bit ago now. Alright, and then there's this right here, okay? So, Fraser Institute, they've been at this for 50 years, doing their analyzing different topics and such. And, I just want to I'm not going to go over this whole thing. These will both be in the link in the description below. Both of these will be. But what I am going to touch on just right now is this has been a creeping but constantly increasing carbon tax. 2019, $20 per ton. Then the tax increased April 1st, 2024, so recently. Okay, so this has been gone over a few times. I know that because it's increased past 20 before it hits this 65 to 40 threshold on April 1st, 2024. And then the 170 by 2030. Well, look at the timeline. You got 4 more years, supposedly, until they're doing you could call that essentially 200 per ton of emissions, right? This is so insane because they're creepily showing that it's no big deal, it's just 20, it's just 65, it might just be $80. Just $200 almost, so there's and we know Mark Carney wants to push this forward even further. So this is insane. This does not create a net zero. What this creates is a fucking, a shutdown on. So first, when they first started getting implemented, the $20 per tons, you had a lot of mom and pop shops starting to close down and stuff like that. The extra taxation was just too much that people don't really care about that stuff as much and don't need it as much. So people don't go to those mom and pop shops that are really actually great and beautiful and awesome, and there's a whole diverse aspect to those types of shops that are really amazing and was honestly a special thing about Canada. A bunch of them are shut down. And then, so we do the increases over the years, and then now all of a sudden industries are leaving and shutting down, and it's impacting food, it's impacting every single sector that is actually important in Canada. So let me know what you think in the comments section. But I have to talk about this. I can't even help myself anymore. It's insane. These liberals want to pretend that nothing is happening. Now, one thing that I wanted to end off the video saying was we're going to be starting debates. I've been doing it on my X, on my Twitter for a while, and it's pretty interesting. I'll go in there and razz and debate and try to see what the liberals will try to spin or say and try to erode any of their stances and stuff like that. And I'm hoping to start doing that in video calls, podcasts, maybe on streams and stuff like that. So if you guys are down for that, leave a like, leave a comment saying please debate people and let's get this thing going. I don't know, I took Charlie Kirk's death really hard. He'd been inspiring me for a while now, and I feel like if I don't use my voice, I'm shaming all the inspiration he's done in my life. You know, he's no longer alive to do it. Canada's a different place, but Canada's going through it and going through it maybe even a little bit worse than America, but we're in denial about it on the left. So I'm hoping that we're going to have some common sense coming back right soon here. Anyways, stay true north, proud patriots.